Shares of Kraft Heinz are higher today. That was our mystery stock. Bernstein upgrading it to outperform with a $40 price target. That's about 20% upside. The move is partly valuation based, but they also say that Kraft's protein forward portfolio gives them a competitive advantage as weight loss drugs change consumer behavior. Joining us now, Alexia Howard. She's senior research analyst for U.S. food at Bernstein. Alexia, I love this. Protein power. I mean, to what extent is that going to help them out here?
So if you think about Kraft's portfolio here in the US, it's very focused on Oscar Mayer lunch meats. You've got the Philadelphia cream cheese. You've also got the cheese portfolio, what remains of it after the divestment. And that's very protein forward. And what we're seeing from the GLP-1 patients, the Ozempic and Wegovy and Mounjaro users, is that protein is really important for preserving muscle mass as they lose weight, also good for retaining hair and so on. And so protein forward is actually likely to perform better. And obviously, we've seen the food stocks do pretty poorly year to date for various reasons. And so with Kraft actually being on the right side of the GLP-1 question, that's the reason for the upgrade today.
Sure, but if I were thinking protein, I might think a hamburger, hot dogs, and what were the other products they have that you mentioned?
So they have Philadelphia cream cheese. Yes, exactly. Now, there's different types of protein, obviously, and one of the things that the GLP-1 patients are saying is that eating foods that are too greasy is sometimes something that's going to not play with them very well, cause them gastrointestinal issues. And so anything that's heavily greasy, like a hamburger, you might be able to take a bite or two of it for enjoyment, but you're probably not going to be able to eat the whole thing.
Wait a minute. This is a bombshell. If that's the case, then I should be short McDonald's and Burger King and who else? Shake Shack. And Biami, you think burgers could be a casualty of the GLP-1 drug, so to speak?
Well, I'm not a restaurant analyst, but certainly what we're hearing is that greasy foods are something that you can eat them, but you just mustn't eat them in excess.
Interesting. Who else in this? So Kraft in particular jumps out to you. And again, they've spun out a lot of the more snacky stuff. What about the rest of your coverage space? Who else is up there as maybe hanging in there better? And who do you think's more at risk?
Sure. So Simply Good Foods is a company that produces a lot of protein treats, protein bars, protein shakes particularly. And the protein shakes market actually seems to be doing pretty well out of this. So I definitely put that in the winners category with respect to GLP-1s. I think at the other end of the spectrum, we are a bit concerned about the confectionery category. And what a lot of the GLP-1 patients are saying is, you know what? I used to crave a lot of junk food and a lot of chocolate and confectionery. And frankly, that craving on these drugs has kind of dropped away. So I might not have lost my sweet tooth completely. So instead of a whole chocolate bar fairly frequently, I might just be having a piece of it a few times a week. So it's going to play out very differently, I think, across the space.
Well, and they very timely showed that chart of Hershey. I'm thinking of companies like Hershey or Mondelez, or I think Kellanova is the snacks division there. Do you think it could get to the point, Alexia, that they need to think acquisitive, and diversifying their business model to maybe include some more protein? I don't know if there's smaller players, maybe newer players on the market. Is that a route you would recommend they go?
Absolutely. So we've already been talking about how now the GLP-1 impact is going to phase in pretty slowly over the next 5 to 10 years. It's not as though everybody's going to be on them tomorrow. But as that pressure comes through the sector, or as that disruption comes through the space, absolutely looking for protein forward smaller companies. I've actually been recommending Simply Good Foods because it's a protein forward company is something that might become an acquisition target over time.